So many pastors have used the pulpit to blast millennials lately that I think we think the problem with the church is the millennials. What's happening in our culture, this isn't the fault of some 25-year-old kid. The term Christian had an entirely different stigma than it carries today. Not only was it easier to be a Christian in the 30s, 40s, and 50s than it was in the 2020s, but there are actually social advantages to being a Christian in those decades. And ladies and gentlemen, I don't know last time you've checked in on a kid or what their culture is like, but there are no social advantages for them to come out and say, I am a Christian in their schools today. By the mid-1990s, when we were stepping into adulthood, there were no longer any advantages to being able to socially proclaim that you are a Christian. However, there were no disadvantages at that point of labeling yourself a Christian. Fast forward 20 years later, and there are no advantages for these kids to come out and say, I'm a Christian. And there are an endless amount of disadvantages. So before we shake our fist at these kids and say, how dare you have commitment issues, let's remember the world that these kids are living in and maybe have a little bit of empathy for what they're going through.